What if I told you that the English word devil and the ancient Sanskrit word for the supreme shining goddess are, well, they're exactly the same
I
word?
mean, it sounds like a total provocation,
Yeah, completely.
but it's actually just a matter of linguistic record.
Yeah.
When you trace the etymology back thousands of years, the ultimate symbol of cosmic evil and the oldest expression of the sacred feminine, they literally share the exact same root.
Wow. Welcome to the deep dive, everyone. Today we're exploring a massive, just world-tilting paradigm shift based on a source text titled The Original Devil, How the Sacred Feminine Became the Adversary.
Right.
And the mission of this deep dive is to explore this mind-bending historical and linguistic thesis, like how the ancient sacred feminine was systematically transformed into the ultimate symbol of evil. And honestly, I am so excited about this topic.
That's a huge one.
It really is. Whether you're a history buff, a theology nerd, or just someone who, loves a massive plot twist, this source material completely rewrites the script on good, evil, and basically all the stories we've been told.
Yeah, and to be clear right up front, our goal today isn't to promote any specific religious belief or to, critique anyone's personal faith.
Right, right.
We're really just looking at this fascinating, thousands of years long pattern of human storytelling and power. The sources ask a very specific question, which is, what if the cosmic adversary you were warned about is actually the oldest expression of divine love?
Which is just a crazy thought. To understand a shift that massive, I feel like we have to start at the most basic level possible, not with sweeping myths, but with the literal words we use.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this. We have this foundational shocker from the text about the etymological root. We're talking about the Proto-Indo-European root word do.
Right, do, which is the foundational root, and its literal translation is, it means to shine or to be luminous or to be of the sky.
Okay.
And it's the phonetic ancestor for this entire massive tree of language. So if you trace do into Sanskrit, you get the word diva.
Deva, right, like a shining divine being.
Yeah, exactly. And Devi, the supreme shining goddess. And then if you follow it into Latin, you get deus, meaning God. Follow it into Greek, you get Zeus.
So it's basically the root for the highest deities across all these ancient cultures.
It is. But, language is heavily influenced by politics and conquests. So over this very long arc of theological transformation, where older belief systems were systematically overwritten by newer ones, the words for the old gods are often demonized.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so eventually, that same luminous root D morphs through Germanic and Old English filters to literally give us the word devil.
That is just a staggering sociological shift.
It really is.
It's like finding out that the universe's ultimate hero and ultimate villain have, the exact same DNA.
That's a great way to put it. The name for the supreme sacred feminine in ancient Sanskrit and the English name for the ultimate adversary are cognate.
Okay, but I have to ask, because I was thinking about this when reading the sources, what about the word Satan?
Uh,
Because, surely that has a purely evil origin, right? Like, Hebrew is an Afroasiatic language. Sanskrit is Indo-European. You can't just draw a straight line between them.
no, you're absolutely right. And that's a great piece of critical pushback. The source material doesn't claim a direct one-to-one etymological derivation between Hebrew and Sanskrit.
Okay, so what is it arguing then?
It's arguing for a deep cross-cultural phonetic resonance, a shared conceptual memory. Let's look at the Hebrew word first. Cheyenne basically translates to adversary or accuser.
One who opposes.
Exactly. And it entered the Abrahamic traditions as a title, the Satan, the accuser. But now look at the Sanskrit root sat.
Sat.
Yeah. In Vedic philosophy, sat means truth. It means pure being or existence itself. It's the undeniable ground of reality, that which cannot be made untrue.
Okay, I think I see where this is going.
Yeah, in ancient traditions, the feminine divine was deeply associated with sat, with undeniable reality. So the original adversary wasn't this evil force trying to, drag you into malice.
It was the force that refuses to let you believe a comfortable lie.
Precisely. It's the friction of reality holding you to account.
Wow. So if the titles of the adversary were originally, divine and luminous, it logically raises the question of, what about the adversary's origin story?
Right, the mythology.
Yeah, because the dominant narrative in Western culture is the fall from grace. Lucifer. Before Lucifer was a fallen angel, the Latin lux meant light bearer, right?
Yes, the light bearer.
And it was referring to the morning star, Venus, which in the ancient world was almost universally a goddess.
It was. And the sources bring up Sumerian cosmology here to explain this, specifically the goddess Inanna, the queen of heaven and earth.
Right.
Ancient people tracked the movement of Venus very carefully, And because of its orbit, Venus periodically disappears below the horizon for a while before reappearing.
Which they encoded into a myth.
Exactly. The Sumerians turned that literal astronomical event into Inanna's descent into the underworld.
Let's talk about that descent because it's so completely different from the Lucifer myth we inherited.
It really is.
To visit the underworld, Inanna has to pass through 7 gates. And at every single gate, she has to surrender an attribute of her power.
Right. Her crown, her lapis necklace, her breastplate.
Yeah, she is methodically stripped naked until she arrives in the underworld completely vulnerable. She's killed, hung on a hook, and then eventually resurrected to rise again as the morning star.
Which is, structurally, the exact original Lucifer framework. The light bearer descending into darkness.
But the motivation is totally inverted.
Totally inverted.
Because Inanna's descent is this story of extreme cosmic courage. It's a voluntary sacrifice. So how do we go from a brave goddess choosing to face the darkness to a prideful male angel being violently kicked out of heaven?
The texts call this the patriarchal reversal.
Patriarchal reversal, okay.
Yeah, when later sky god religious structures started taking over these older earth-based goddess traditions, they couldn't just erase the stories. They were too embedded in the culture.
Right, people already knew them.
Exactly. So they kept the framework, the morning star going down, but they reversed every single moral element. Descent becomes a punishment instead of a choice.
Oh, wow.
Darkness becomes a prison instead of a sacred passage. And the luminous being returning as the morning star becomes a permanently defeated enemy.
So they didn't just rewrite the fall from grace. They systematically turned the earth goddess's sacred symbols into things we should be terrified of.
They weaponized the myth perfectly.
Which leads us perfectly to, like, the ultimate symbol of biblical villainy, right? The serpent in Eden.
Oh, the serpent is arguably the most demonized figure in Western religion.
Completely. But the text lists all these pre-biblical feminine serpent deities. You've got Wadjet, the Egyptian cobra goddess, Namu, the Sumerian sea goddess, the Minoan snake goddesses. Even Medusa used to be a protector.
Right, before the Greeks turned her into a cursed monster.
Exactly. So why was the serpent the universal choice for the divine feminine?
It comes down to biology. It coils, it sheds its skin to renew itself, and its belly is pressed directly against the earth.
It's the ultimate earth symbol.
Exactly. But to understand why it had to be demonized in Eden, the sources look at the Vedic concept of Kundalini Shakti.
Okay, let's get into that. What is Kundalini Shakti?
So Kundal means coiled, and Shakti is the animating power of the goddess. In tantric models, Kundalini Shakti is described specifically as a serpent of living energy.
A literal serpent.
Yes, coiled 3.5 times at the very base of the human spine. And when that serpent energy is awakened and rises up through the spine, it produces gnosis.
Gnosis meaning like direct knowledge, right?
Direct, experiential knowing of the divine, the goddess waking up inside your own body.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though, because if you look at the Eden story, what does the serpent actually offer?
Knowledge.
Right. The fruit of the tree of knowledge. It offers gnosis. And in the Genesis narrative, that gift of consciousness is framed as the original sin.
Which makes brilliant structural sense for an emerging hierarchy.
Right, because if you can experience the divine directly in your own body, you don't need a priest. You don't need the middleman.
Exactly. A worldview that demands obedience to an external authority had to reframe direct bodily consciousness as a sin to maintain control.
That is just, it's chilling, honestly.
And once you establish that internal biological knowledge is evil, you quickly move to demonize external natural knowledge. The sources use Hecate as the perfect example of this.
Hecate, the Greek goddess.
Right. In classical Greece, she wasn't a monster. She was a goddess of the crossroads, of liminal spaces. She was triple-formed, holding keys to the underworld, and intimately associated with herbs and botany.
But fast forward to medieval Christian Europe.
Exactly. Every single one of her sacred attributes was folded into diabolism. Her crossroads became the places where witches met the devil. Her herbs became poisonous dark arts. Her torches became the black flame. Even her ancient triple form was recast as a demonic mockery of the Trinity.
So turning herbs and snakes into scary things is one level of control. But turning the wild, autonomous feminine into a threat, we have to look at how these goddesses behaved in relationships, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. This is where the story of Lilith becomes crucial.
Right. So in Jewish mysticism, Lilith is Adam's first wife, not Eve.
And she wasn't made from his rib.
No, she was created from the exact same primordial dust as Adam, and because of that, she demanded equality. Specifically, she refused the sexual position of subordination. She refused to lie beneath him.
Right.
And when Adam wouldn't agree to equality, she pronounced the unutterable name of God and literally just flew away.
And the sources highlight the nakedly political logic here. Lilith wasn't accused of cruelty. She wasn't violent.
No, her sin was equality.
Her sin was structural refusal. In these patriarchal traditions, wildness, sovereignty, and the refusal of hierarchy were coded as demonic threats.
It's so wild to think about. Like, the original sin wasn't malice, it was just refusing to be subservient.
Exactly. And if
Yeah.
Lilith represents that structural threat, the source material gives us a visual extreme of this with the Hindu goddess Kali.
Oh, man. Kali. Yeah, by Western markers, she totally looks like the devil.
Aesthetically, she checks every box for a demon to Western eyes. She's pitch black, standing on a corpse, wearing a garland of severed human heads, tongue out, dripping with blood.
Right, it's terrifying.
But in Shakta theology, she's the Supreme Mother. Her appearance isn't malice, it's radical compassion.
Wait, really? How is wearing severed heads compassionate?
Because you have to read the symbols differently. Kala means time. She's the mother of time. The blackness is just the pregnant womb of the void before creation.
Oh, okay.
And those severed heads, they aren't victims of murder. They represent human ego constructions and false identities.
Oh, wow. So she's destroying the ego, not the person.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is how this loops right back to Satan as sap.
Truth.
Right. Both Kali and the original concept of the adversary perform the exact same function, destroying your comfortable self-deception.
So evil, in this specific historical context, was basically just a misunderstood cosmic function. It was the universe trying to wake you up.
Yeah.
So how does that change our fundamental understanding of our relationship to the universe? Like, why would the universe create that terrifying illusion in the first place?
The sources introduce a concept from Kashmir Shaivism called Tirodhana.
Tirodhana.
Yes, it translates to the concealment function. It's one of the 5 cosmic acts. It's the divine intentionally hiding its own nature to allow the game of discovery to happen.
Ah, okay.
It's the goddess concealing herself so thoroughly that she looks like her own absence.
So what does this all mean structurally? Let me see if I have this right. The Abrahamic tradition basically took this intimate act of divine concealment, the feeling of being separate, the friction of life, and exiled it.
Exactly.
They took the friction and called it a totally separate, evil entity.
Yes, and this broadens out to what the text calls the inversion pattern.
The inversion pattern.
Yeah, it's a universal pattern. Whenever a patriarchal sky god cosmology overtakes an earth goddess cosmology, the old deity becomes a monster.
Oh, like Tiamat.
Exactly. Tiamat in Babylon is split open by Marduk to build the world, or Python in Greece, the serpent goddess slain by Apollo so he could take over her oracle at Delphi.
So the new power structure delegitimizes the old one just by calling it monstrous.
That's exactly it.
That is, I mean, to the listener right now, the next time you hear a story about a brave hero slaying a dragon or a wicked witch in the woods, realize that you are likely looking at the remnants of an ancient goddess who just refused to be domesticated.
Yeah, that's exactly the takeaway. Understanding the original devil isn't about, rehabilitating actual evil or justifying cruelty.
Right, right.
It's about restoring a lost history of sacred reality. The darkness, the serpent, the morning star, the adversary, they were once the living face of the primordial mother.
The force that loves you too much to let you live a lie.
Beautifully said.
It's just a completely different way to look at the world. And honestly, it leaves you with this really lingering thought that wasn't explicitly discussed in the sources, but it builds right off it.
What's that?
Well, if the ultimate symbol of evil was actually born from the human need to suppress the wild, autonomous, and feminine parts of nature, it makes you wonder what else in our modern lives we've been taught to fear, simply because it couldn't be easily controlled.
A great point.
I mean, the etymology hasn't changed. That coiled energy is still there. So, which set of eyes will you use to look at it tomorrow? Think about that. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We'll catch you next time.